Hi, it's me again, I'm Nafid. Today I will show you on this video how to download and install Ubuntu Server. Now this Ubuntu Server obviously can be installed on multiple different platforms like VMware ESXi, like VirtualBox on the desktop, or probably VM workstation or workstation player. Now, what we would like to do is, simply speaking, we'll assume somebody probably is learning something new and would like to use VirtualBox on the local desktop to install that. We will also show you how to change the IP address on the network interface card. There are three different possibilities. We have created the virtual machine, which is Ubuntu Server. I'll show you later on how to install Docker on that, and also I'll show you how to install Apache Guacamole on top of that using Docker. So let's go for the video. You go to ubuntu.com official website, you go to download. This time we will download the server. So we'll get the server and then you download this one, 22.04 long-term support, which is the one we would like to download. So go ahead. So the download starts. It takes a bit of time. We'll come back once the download has completed. So this is the VirtualBox. We're going to add a new machine basically. So we did download the Ubuntu server. We're going to add a new one. We're going to give it a name, location, and the ISO image that we have downloaded. We're going to just use that file. So that's the image we just downloaded, 64-bit. And we'll go next. The user, I'm going to use my name. We'll leave everything as default. So move next. I would like to use 4 GB of memory. So that will be 4098. And I'll leave the CPU as is. So next. For the hard disk, probably we can use a bit more than 25, just say make it 50. We will not pre-allocate, it's up to you, but then it will expand as we need it. If we're happy with all what we've done here, we're going to go finish. You can expand this by looking to the view, go to scaled mode. So this means if I expand this window, I will get the Linux itself being expanded as well, so we can see better. So the installation is starting. We'll select English. That's okay. We'll leave everything as is, doesn't matter, done. Now you select which one you would like to go ahead. I would like to go with the standard one, Ubuntu Server. You can go for the minimal or minimized installation, or you can have a third-party drivers. But again, for the sake of this demonstration, we'll go for the standard, and we will again configure at least one interface this server can use to talk to other machines, and by default has selected internal DHCP and Ethernet. You can obviously change the IP. We will come back to this a little bit later once an installation is done. There's no proxy, and we will go for this. Use the entire disk. And we'll go with this. Username, I'll go for my name. We'll install OpenSSH server, which makes our life much easier. And we'll leave everything as default. And then if you'd like to install any snaps on the server, like some containers and other stuff, We'll leave it as is, and we'll come back to this if need be to install whatever extra stuff that we need to install on the server. The installation has started now. We'll come back to this once the installation has finished. Installation finished. We need to reboot the server, so we're going to go for that. So we're going to go and upgrade these packages. Let's have a look at the IP settings. So IP-A, issue this command to start with. Okay, that's the IP, and we said this is netting. If you look at the actual virtual box, you'll find that this is being netted. Now, can we ping across the board, like ping is successful? We ping google.com, means that I have DNS working, and this means this server is able to reach the internet. Now I would like to change from netting to either bridging using the local range where the machine is running on, or we can do also some sort of, I'll show you now. Come here, we can go to the settings, you can right click into the machine settings, network, you notice it's NAT. I can go to the bridge mode or internal network. Host only adapter if you would like to, which is basically the adapter that was installed by the virtual adapter installed on the machine, on the hosting machine. So if we go bridge mode, bridge adapter, and we're going to apply this, and we go back and double check on the IP address. The IP has changed into 192.168.1.121. So this is the range of the IP address in the same network where the local machine is. If you do change this one, and we're going to see now by issuing the IP config with the local machine, what is this, what kind of interface is installed on the machine. That's the local interface. If I issue the command ipconfig/all, right, we have here multiple adapters, one of which will be the actual local adapter 192.168.1.30. This is what has been changed to. And there's another adapter that's called host only. So when you go to the virtual box and change to host only, it will be in this range, and locally you can reach it. We can basically come here and SSH to that specific IP. SSH 192.168.1.121, which is the 121. 192.168.1.121, which is the IP address of our server. Yes. That is our server, basically, and that's the IP address of the server. If you, on the other hand, change to host only adapter, so you can change it. We can go settings, obviously, and clear here, click here, and this was bridge mode, bridge adapter, host only, and we can apply that. Going back, notice the IP has changed to 192.168.56.104. And what is that? That's the same range. That is the same range of the host only adapter, 56. Notice 192.168.56. Here 56.104. Simply we can go and try to connect to that specific 56.104. Now we connected, and this is IPA. Right. So this is, if you would like to change the IP address, I showed you how to do it on this VirtualBox. Let's go to a folder called etc. and netplan. And there's a file called 00 installer config YAML file. Let's have a look at that. Here you can fix the IP if you would like to make changes, if you would like. It says in here DHCP version 4 true. So you can make it false and assign the server static IP address if you would like to do so. Now it is possible to do that, so you do the DHCP version 4 equal false. I wanted just to make sure, you know, for the time being, later on we will come back and have a look at this. But it is possible to make DHCP version equal false and then assign static IP address manually if you would like to. But I want to just keep it as is so we can dynamically make changes for the demo purpose. We'll come out of this, Control X, and then you are out of this. Now I would like to export this machine as OVA just in case for the future. We can always export it and re-import it again as an appliance. We will export it now, so first of all we're going to shut it down, and then what we're going to do, we will export as an OVA as our reference machine in case in the future we need to come back to this machine and add other services or things go wrong, then we do have that machine. So we're going to shut down the machine. So we're going to shut down in 1 minute. After this shuts down, we'll come back and show you how to export the machine as an OVA. So we will export the machine. What we've done here, as I said, export, and I'm going to export the VM. You have different options. You can go with the version, location, and I don't want to include any interface, so later on we can add the interfaces. You indeed can go to advanced options. This is when if you re-import this into like VMware Station or VMware Player or ESXi, you select or you define some other parameters. These are identical parameters to the machine itself. So, and we will go finish, and then the export of the machine will start. It shows you here at a bar how far did we go so far. So once that's exported, I'll show you that this format can also be imported in other platforms. Okay, that's the exported machine, OVA. We can right click and open with. We have VMware Player. Ask about the name of the machine. You can give it any name. VM. So it is importing the machine. So now the virtual machine is ready. We can run it in the VMware Player, as you can see. And then again, you will log in with the same login details. Now here we can clearly see, let's close this. For the adapter, you might need to make a few changes. Network adapter here, bridge mode or NAT or host only. And then I just chose to have bridge mode, and you select which interface. But these are simple settings that you will perform on the VMware Player, as we can clearly see. that is the IP address of this machine. So that's running in the VMware vPlayer basically.